Although we started with ArrayLists in class, we started doing all of our searching algorithms that we were working with here in class to work with arrays. We want to go over that same idea of searching algorithms and how to search through an array list, the other major linear type in data structure for Java. So as you can see right here, I've got my ArrayList methods searching list where I'm going through and I've got my string methods set up. I have my ArrayList of string words, which is built by my setup words method, and I have an int total matching is equal count by condition passing to that words list. So I'm going to take that list too. We're going to go through and work with it, and we'll see how many words that match that have 3 or more e in them, and we'll get that and we'll do that display as an image right there. Then we'll do the summation algorithm passing it make duck list. We'll just directly send that list that's created by that method as a parameter to int all the summations method, which will then store the result back in the variable int all the questions, and then display that message as well. And then we'll call our update drinks method, which will of course it's updating our drinks method, which of course is updating the drinks data structure that we have right there. And then we'll find the smallest drink inside that and get that information out of it. And then we'll find the biggest word passing that same array list words we just worked with as well. So we can use the same array list for multiple algorithms and display that message as well. We're going to take a look at the method we're using to actually search through those lists. We're going to take a look at the method we're using to search through a list to find a specific string and then count those values. So I have my setup words method where I'm going to just generate an array list of string and put some values in it. As you can see, I've got AP Computer Science A, AP Computer Science Principles, Software Development, Data Structures and Algorithms, Database Design and Development, iOS Mobile Development, Swift, Java, SQL, C++, and C#. So I've got some languages that I teach in the courses I teach done in a list of strings so we can have that. And so we're going to take a look at how we can actually search through this list of strings to find some value that's going to go through that. So inside our count by condition method, where we're going to actually work for that, we take an array list of string as our source list. I'm going to count all the values that match this condition we're looking for. The first part we have is the outer loop. We're going to iterate over the array list itself, going from 0 up to size, going forward. It's just like normal. I'm going to extract the current word out of the list by using source.get so I can get the value I'm looking at specifically, and set my condition count to be 0. And then for int string index is equal to 0, string index is less than the current word's length, my string index is going to go up by 1. And so if the current word's substring passing it string index plus 1, aka the current letter I'm working at, is equal to e, then my condition count is going to go up by 1. If my condition count is greater or equal to 3, my count itself will go up by 1 as well. So I can sit there and count all the ones that have more than 3 values inside that. And so when I go through and actually look at that, I have 5 words in my list that have 3 or more e's in them. And so, oh look, I've got computer, science, principles. Oh, I've got more than one. I've got more than 3. And there's 5 words that in that list that have that. And so I also have structures and algorithms. Nope. Database design and development. That's 2. iOS mobile development. There's 3. Okay, and AP Computer Science A. Oh, we've got that as well. So we've got those values right there. So we have the information that match that. And so we can find 5 words right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 that have those 5 letters that have 3 or more e's inside them. We can have that counted with that. So when you search through our list with that, we have that matching right there. The next thing we have is how we can ask all the questions. So I'm passing an array list from a parameter right here in this make duck list. So let's take a look at the make duck list method. And so the make duck list method, I'm creating an array list of ducks. And so I have my array list of debug ducks, passing it ducks, calling a new array list of debug duck. And I have a new debug duck, it's ducky and human, debug ducky and mammal, Swift duck and self, and Java duck and this, because I'm silly. And then I'm just grabbing some of those ducks inside there and assigning them some questions. So fake question 1, fake question 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, whatever. So I'm adding some questions to those ducks so I can have some ducks in there so I can go through and count those all up. And so my next method I'm looking for, I want a summation of all the questions that have been asked by the debug ducks. So I'm going to go look at my lovely all the questions and my summation algorithm. In my summation algorithm, I use a standard for each loop to do this. So I have my total questions initialized to 0 because again, it's a counter, so always start off at 0. And for each debug duck inside current ducks, total questions plus equals the current duck.get answered questions. So I'm using the get answered questions method of each duck, adding that value to total each of that, and using that to get all the ducks inside that. And when I run that, and we have 12 questions have been answered by our debug ducks. The next one we have is our update drinks. Update drinks is how we're going to work with our coffee object, so I can go through and find the smallest coffee inside here. So in my update drinks method, I'm going to go ahead and do from 0 to 10. I'm going to make a new coffee and add the current cup size to be 10 times index plus 1 so I can get those values easily identified with that. And I'll add each of those cups to my list. And then I have my special coffee, my vegan spicy mocha because, well, I'm silly and I like the spicy mocha. And we'll put that inside there. I'm going to find the smallest I'm going to find the smallest coffee inside there. I'm getting the first time out of the list. I'm using a for each method to compare that against all of them. So coffee smallest is drinks.get 0. And for coffee current inside drinks, if coffee.get cup size is less than smallest.get cup size, I'll take my current coffee and assign that to the smallest variable so I can replace that. So I start with the 0th value and work my way through, and I will return my smallest value from there. My smallest coffee is the default coffee with this much coffee, 10, because that's the smallest value inside there. So I can go through and find the smallest inside that. The next one we have is looking at the idea of the largest. And so in my find max, I'm just going to use that same string array words we were working with earlier. I'm going to start off in this case when you words max is equal to words.get, passing to words.size minus 1. So I'm going to go to the last item inside my list. I'm going to start off at size is equal to size minus 2. So I'm going to make sure I compare only the values I have to. So size minus 2. Index is greater than or equal to 0. So I go through all of them, going down by 1 each time. My string current is equal to words.get, passing that current index. And if current's length is bigger than max's length, I'll assign the current value into max so I can get that new current length out of that. And so I go ahead and grab that through. I run it in, and I've got longest word in the words list is database design and development. It's 31 letters long, so that's my largest one. And so that's how we can go through and actually find things with an array list. Again, we're working with the idea of using those same algorithms for linear searching that we've done before. I hope this is helpful. Cheers. We'll see you next time and have a good day. Bye-bye.